The Chicago Theater of the Air. Produced and narrated by Marion Clare, conducted by Henry Weber, written and directed by Jack LeBrandre, Mutual presents radio's greatest hour of music and drama, the famous Chicago Theater of the Air. Tonight's production, The Gypsy Princess, music by Emmerich, book by Arthur Miller, lyrics by Arthur Stanley. Our stars are Nancy Carr as Chara, Richard Tucker, distinguished tenor of the Metropolitan Opera Company, as Ronald, and Earl Wilkie as Lord Boniface. Dramatic players Muriel Bremner, Everett Clark, and John Barclay, and the chorus under the direction of Robert Trendler. The curtain rises on tonight's Chicago Theater of the Air production of The Gypsy Princess, starring Nancy Carr as Chara, Richard Tucker as Prince Ronald, and Earl Wilkie as Lord Boniface. Marion Clare will be heard in the dramatic narrative role of Countess Stassi, and the conductor is Henry Weber. The Chicago Theater of the Air presents The Gypsy Princess.
Behold in me the Countess Stasi of His Majesty's Court of Kozenach. Until a moment ago, my heart was filled with rapture, for the king himself had announced my engagement to his illustrious son, Prince Ronald. But a moment ago, I inadvertently overheard Prince Ronald talking to that unscrupulous rascal, Lord Boniface, and what I heard changed my rapture to fury.
Lord Boniface, I ask you, I implore you to save me from this marriage to Countess Stasi.
Ronald, my boy, you've shown rare good judgment in coming to me, for nowhere in the entire kingdom of Kozenach will you find such a distinguished authority as I on the subject of women.
I'm well aware of your virtues in that respect, Bonnie, but this calls for action rather than words.
How true, how true. And action is just what you'll get, Prince. We're off for the nightlife of Kozenach.
Nightlife? Bonnie, my friend, do you think it prudent for an engaged man?
Now, Prince, as I understand it, the immediate object at hand is to break your engagement with Stasi, is it not?
Yes,
And you place the situation entirely in my hands, have you not?
Yes,
but... Then I must insist that you leave everything to me.
Very well. Proceed, Bonnie. Proceed.
We'll begin by giving you a thorough course in romantic education.
Romantic education? Forgive me, Lord Bonnie. I hope I've come to the right professor.
With lads who come from college, who've read the book of knowledge, except perhaps a naughty censored chapter. Romantic education begins with gravitation towards the world of feministic rapture.
But when we see them closer and hear them murmur hoaxer, you're very kind, and I don't mind, provided I can bring a pan or two. We succumb to the craze for the nimbatory feast our elder and best had before us. We meet them, we treat them, we take them out to dine. We pet them, we let them monopolize us. Before very long, we are going rather strong, believing they honestly adore us. The sympathetic, strenuous, excitable, ingenuous, engaging little ladies of the chorus.
To capture our affection, they alter their complexion. They're really most obliging in their way. Your charming blonde of Sunday is my brunette of Monday. They find the more they please, the more it pays. The smart pair of hoes and the nice father Lord, and I'm got the most tremendous chorus. They fool us, they never stand a chance. They hoax us, they coax us, but they're God bless all the dear little heart. If they don't try to find their faces and diction before us.
Their witchery is continuous, the slender, shapely, sinuous, enticing little ladies of the chorus.
Do you wonder that I am furious? If Lord Boniface thinks for 1 minute that I can be disposed of by leading my fiancé into the paths of temptation, he has a great surprise coming. How fortunate that I happened to overhear their little plot.
Ronald, my boy, I know of a cabaret where we shall find the most ravishing entertainer ever to fall on mortal eyes.
An entertainer?
Quite so. An exquisite gypsy known as Chara. Her figure is like words fail me, and her voice is pure as liquid sunshine.
But what has this gypsy to do with my predicament? How can she help me?
One thing at a time, Ronald. First, to meet the alluring creature.
the wily light when Gypsy maidens call, and the silver moon is dancing in the sky above. Flip to burning, flip is making heart to burning, heart is bright. Hear the stars of rapture ringing in the hour of love is ringing. Home and love is calling, joyous night.
This thing has been overboard. Ring will ring with play. Oh, love of mine, you are mine and only mine until the fire of earth flies away.
Sing, this thing has been overboard. Ring will ring with play.
I beg your pardon. May I come in for a moment?
Why, of course, madame, but I have very little time. I must change my costume for my next song.
I'll make it very brief. I'm the Countess Stasi Chara, the unfortunate victim of a romantic plot.
A plot, milady? A romantic plot?
Exactly. Chara, the young Prince Ronald is going to propose to you this evening.
Prince Ronald? Propose to me? But I don't even know Prince Ronald.
That doesn't matter. He will offer you a marriage contract to be confirmed in 3 months.
But why? Why would he do this, milady?
Oh, it's been planned by one Lord Boniface that I will learn of this contract and that I will denounce the prince, thus releasing him from his engagement to me. Then he fails to offer his contract, to honor that contract with you, and finds himself as free as the air.
But what do you want me to do, Countess Stasi? And how can I help you? Oh, it's time for my next song.
Sing your song, Chara, and watch the prince fall into our trap. This becomes more than a question of romance, my dear. It becomes a question of women's honor. From a corner table, I watch Prince Ronald approach the gypsy Chara. He has had careful instructions from Lord Boniface, and as I anticipate the awakening these two conspirators are about to have, I find it difficult to suppress a smile.
For years I've heard about your lovely voice, your breathless beauty, and now that I've met you, I...
Yes, Prince Ronald?
Love at first sight. How often I've scoffed at such a possibility. But now I know I was wrong. It is possible to love at first sight. My first sight of you proved it to me, Charlotte.
Prince Ronald, how can you be sure?
Because my heart whispers that it's true. Don't you hear the music of my heart, Charlotte?
I think I do.
Of course you do. The whole world hears it. No one can keep such love a secret.
Passion is a restless river, love a calm and boundless sea. Love is an unsparing giver, generous and brave and free. Passion is a fleeting fun emotion, volatile as morning dew. Love is an eternal devotion. Such a love is mine, sweet, for you.
With all the world before you, dear, why have you chosen me?
Oh, Chara, you are all my world, beloved, and must ever be. Oh, love is love that sweeps aside all worldly wealth and power and pride, and still when radiant youth has died, divinely glows. Love is love that pays the price in pure and selfless sacrifice to thine at last where grows tenderest love's unfaded rose.
Better far to leave unspoken all your longing lips would say. Let me with a heart unbroken go upon my lonely way. Pity me, I pray, and plead no longer. Let the day we love through. Destiny that all love far stronger will that I shall part dear from you.
My heart, my honor, and my all I lay before your feet.
But sacrifice for there before will keep love's memory pure and sweet. Perfect love will pay the price in pure and
The music of love, Chara. Please sing it with me forevermore.
Prince Ronald, I don't think either one of us will ever forget this night.
Wonder of a thousand wonders, rapture too divine. Mine is my darling forever. Mine, mine, mine.
Our tender, sweet surrender, bliss without alloy, moment of infinite splendor, deepest joy.
All the tiny stars are singing love, sweet song. In my heart are joy bells ringing, ding, ding, dong.
Come, my darling, fold your arms around me fast.
can't help but admire this beautiful gypsy girl. She's playing her part well. But someone else is playing a part, too, although not as well as Chara. Oh, he's seen me, and he's coming directly to my table. Good evening, Lord Boniface.
Ah, Countess Stasi. A real pleasure to find you here, my dear.
Thank you, Boney.
Although I must admit it's somewhat of a surprise to me. I hardly expected, that is to come here alone, my dear. Somewhat improper, don't you think?
I don't consider it any more improper than it is for Prince Ronald to be cavorting with that gypsy.
Yes. About that, dear Stasi, I wish I could spare you, my dear, but...
I know how difficult it must be for you to, shall we say, gossip, Boney.
To be sure. But in all fairness to you, Stasi, I'm afraid I must speak.
What a pity. And I've always heard that you are such a strong, silent man.
Yes, indeed, my dear.
People often wonder why the girls adore me so.
Is it for his intellect?
Bless the darlings know. There's a gleam of prehistoric passion in my eye. That is why they fall for me.
That's the reason why.
If I murmur, fly with me, girls proceed to fly. If I beg them on my knees, they would merely laugh and tease me. Girls never think you've any right to them. If you are charming and polite to them, mute adoration doesn't pay. It's thrown away on girls today.
He's like a caveman when pursuing us. He has a wholesome way of fooling us.
The darlings also cheer you. You're my ideal hero. Girls have a strong, silent hand.
Though we would never nothing weak in him, we find a sympathetic streak in him.
I can be self-surprising, so very tantalizing.
There's a strong, silent man.
Beloved Chara, one evening with you is like knowing you for an eternity.
Is eternity such a long time, Ronald?
Not in terms of love. Will you marry me, Chara?
But your position. What will the court say about a marriage between a gypsy and
I don't care. Here, Chara, see? A marriage contract.
What?
Yes, to be confirmed by a church wedding in 3 months. Will you sign it?
Well, Give me the contract, Ronald. What can I do but obey when love rules my heart?
We seek for joy and see its shadow in a vision. But evermore the shadow flying in derision. All on in a painful heart, the shadow vein is draining. All joy abide if all true love be reigning. All joy abide if all true love be reigning. devil singing star.
Countess. See? He gave her a marriage contract. You've seen it with your own eyes.
Perhaps I see more than meets the eye, Lord Boniface.
As far as that gypsy girl is concerned, I wish I could, my dear.
Don't be vulgar, Boney. Perhaps I see that you had a hand in this.
What's that you say?
Perhaps I see that this is a deliberate attempt on your part to break my engagement to Ronald.
Oh, my word, Stasi. How could you suspect such a thing?
It won't work, Boney. You either bring Prince Ronald back to me, or I'll take your treachery directly to the king.
The king? My word. You'll strip me of my wealth and title. Stasi, my dear, you can't do that.
It's entirely up to you, strong, silent man.
Oh, woe is me. What diabolical disaster have I brought upon myself? What to do to cheer myself up? Shall I sing? Shall I whistle? Verily, I'm quite beside myself. Things are not so bad. Shouldn't we look for sunshine after rain? Isn't this jolly? Such a gay refrain.
Why so worried, Boney? Everything is going very well indeed.
Oh, Ronald, my boy, something has gone drastically wrong with our plan.
Wrong? Oh, no, Boney. Everything is right. I love her. I truly love her.
What's this? You love the Countess after all? My word, Prince, you've relieved my mind of an unbearable burden.
Not the Countess, Boney. The gypsy. In spite of myself, I've fallen in love with Chara, and I'm going to marry her.
Egad, man, you can't marry the gypsy. It didn't work.
What didn't work?
Stasi saw through our whole plan. She refuses to break her engagement to you.
What?
You must marry Stasi, or she'll expose my whole plot to the king, and I'll be ruined, Ronald.
But, Boney, I love Chara, don't you understand? What are the consequences to me?
Oh, blast it all, Ronald. You can live without love, but how can I live without a head?
Well, Lord Boniface, how are you progressing with your matrimonial bureau?
Slowly, my dear Countess. Only 3 days until the wedding, and I can't make young Ronald listen to reason.
Then I'd suggest that you do something drastic, my lord. Like marrying the gypsy yourself.
Oh, yeah, a delightful suggestion, my dear. I could do worse than share my life with such an exquisite creature. I'll take the matter up with her immediately.
Sing and be always all. Ring, where ring with the land.
I say, Chara, my dear.
Oh, yes, Lord Boniface.
My dear, it's my painful duty to tell you that the prince has been toying with your affections.
Yes, my lord, I know.
Well, what's this? You know.
Of course. Countess Stasi has told me everything.
Countess Stasi? Egad, is the woman everywhere at once?
Now, let me tell you something, Lord Bonyhead.
What's that, Bonyhead?
That's exactly what you are. If you think such a childish plot can be put over on intelligent
Yes,
women,
but...
you put Countess Stasi in a very embarrassing position. To say nothing of what you've done to me.
But I had no intention of depriving you of a husband, my dear Chara. I'm prepared to marry you myself.
What? This is too much.
Well, so on my word, I hardly expected such a proposition to be considered a jest.
A jest? Oh, certainly not. I'm deeply honored, Lord Boniface, but you forget that I'm contracted to marry Prince Ronald. And unless you can convince Ronald of his duty to Countess Stasi, I'll take this contract to the king and tell him who instigated this ridiculous plot.
Whoa. I find myself caught between a tigress and a lioness.
Charlotte, you must listen to me.
I know what you've come for, Prince Ronald. I'll return our marriage contract only when you agree to marry Countess Stasi.
But I don't love Countess Stasi, Charlotte. I love you.
You mean you haven't come to ask me to return the contract?
No. I've come to tell you that I'm giving up all claim to the throne. I'm going to defy my father's will, Charlotte, and I throw myself at your feet.
Prince Ronald, I must admit that this is something I hadn't counted on.
Oh, beloved Charlotte, from now on I too am a gypsy, and I live only to share your dreams.
Light and laughter, glowing faces, clinging hearts and fond embraces, gypsy music sweet and low. Merry dance and gleaming tresses, flashing glance and soft caresses, all the rapture love can know. There amid the scene of splendor, of revelry and laughter free, in hours so very sweet and tender, there was born your love for me. Oh, memories of mirth and rapture, oh, memory of love's first kiss. In dreams alone can we recapture such sweet bliss, such sweet bliss. Dream once again, never to wake. Let love
Ronald, I must put my personal feelings aside. I can't marry you, ever.
But, Chara...
Countess Stasi took me into her confidence, and I must be fair to her.
My dear children, put the Countess out of your minds. Everything is quite satisfactorily settled.
Yes, Ronald. I give you both my blessings.
Countess Stasi. Bonnie, how did this miracle come about?
It's very simple, my boy. As a suitable reward for bringing you and the Princess Chara together, your father has appointed me Prime Minister of Kosenach.
What?
And of course, in the light of Lord Boney's exalted position, I am only too happy to become the Prime Minister's wife.
Mm-hmm. But Bonnie, Countess Stasi, did you say Princess Chara?
No, by a very happy accident, Ronald. I learned that your gypsy Chara is actually Princess Chara of Montmorency.
Chara, is this true?
Yes, Ronald, it is.
And knowing how eager your father was to unite the kingdom of Montmorency, I prevailed upon him to release you from your engagement to the Countess in favor of her engagement to me.
But, Chara, this gypsy business, I don't understand.
Just an excuse to get away from court, Ronald. Gypsies have so much freedom.
Chara, my beloved, it's back to court for both of us. The court of love.
Well, human nature being what it is, my fury has again changed to rapture. A prime minister seems just as desirable a catch as a prince. And besides, Lord Boniface is more mature, with a great deal of romantic experience. Yes, I've done extremely well for myself, and as a noted purveyor of sentiment once said, all's well that ends well.
We see for joy and see its shadow in a vision, but evermore the shadow flying in derision. All in faithful hearts, the shadow vein is waning. Oh, joy of our devour all true love be Come, my darling, hold your arms around me.
Produced by Marion Clare, conducted by Henry Weber, written and directed by Jack LaFondre, the Chicago Theater of the Year has presented the Emmerich Kálmán operetta, The Gypsy Princess, starring Nancy Carr as Chara, Richard Tucker as the Prince, and Earl Wilkie as Lord Boniface. Robert Trendler was in charge of the chorus. Performance rights were granted by the Thames Whitmark Music Library. In synchronized speaking roles tonight, Marion Clare was heard in the dramatic narrative role of Countess Stasi, Muriel Bremner was Chara, Everett Clark was Prince Ronald, John Barclay was Lord Boniface. This is Lee Bennett cordially inviting you to next week's Chicago Theater of the Year production, the Verdi Grand Opera favorite, La Traviata, starring Nancy Carr, Richard Tucker, and Bruce Foots, and conducted by Henry Weber. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.